Judges chapter 18. In those days there is no king in Israel, and in those days the tribe of the Danite is seeking an inheritance to inhabit for itself, for that has not fallen to it that day in the midst of the tribes of Israel by inheritance. And the sons of Dan send out of their family 5 of their men, sons of valor, from Zorah and from Eshtaol, to traverse the land and to search it. And they say to them, Go, search the land. And they come into the hill country of Ephraim, to the house of Micah, and lodge there. They are with the household of Micah, and they have discerned the voice of the young man, the Levite, and turn aside there, and say to him, Who has brought you here? And what are you doing in this place? And why are you here? And he says to them, Thus and thus has Micah done to me, and he hires me, and I am for a priest to him. And they say to him, Please ask God, and we know whether our way on which we are going is prosperous. And the priest says to them, Go in peace. Before Yahweh is your way in which you go. And the 5 men go and come to Laish, and see the people which is in its midst, dwelling confidently, according to the customs of Zidonians, quiet and confident. And there is none putting to shame in the land in anything, possessing restraint. And they are far off from the Zidonians, and have no word with any man. And they come to their brothers at Zorah and Eshtaol, and their brothers say to them, What did you find? And they say, Rise, and we go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, very good. And you are keeping silent. Do not be slothful to go, to enter, to possess the land. When you go, you come to a confident people, and the land is large on both sides, for God has given it into your hand, a place where there is no lack of anything which is in the land. And they journey there of the family of the Danite, from Zorah and from Eshtaol, 600 men, girded with weapons of war. And they go up and encamp in Kirjath-Jearim in Judah. Therefore they have called that place Camp of Dan, until this day, behold, behind Kirjath-Jearim. And they pass over there to the hill country of Ephraim, and come to the house of Micah. And the 5 men, those going to traverse the land of Laish, answer and say to their brothers, Have you known that in these houses there is an ephod and a teraphim, and a carved image and a molten image? And now, know what you do. And they turn aside there and come to the house of the young man, the Levite, the house of Micah, and ask of him of welfare. And the 600 men, girded with their weapons of war, who are of the sons of Dan, are standing at the opening of the gate. Indeed, the 5 men, those going to traverse the land, go up. They have come in there. They have taken the carved image and the ephod and the teraphim and the molten image. And the priest is standing at the opening of the gate, and the 600 men who are girded with weapons of war. Indeed, these have entered the house of Micah, and take the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. And the priest says to them, What are you doing? And they say to him, Keep silent. Lay your hand on your mouth, and go with us, and be for a father and for a priest to us. Is it better your being a priest for the house of one man, or your being priest for a tribe, and for a family in Israel? And the heart of the priest is glad, and he takes the ephod and the teraphim and the carved image, and goes into the midst of the people. And they turn and go, and put the infants and the livestock and the baggage before them. They have been far off from the house of Micah, and the men who are in the houses which are near the house of Micah have been called together, and overtaken the sons of Dan, and call to the sons of Dan. And they turn their faces around, and say to Micah, What is this to you, that you have been called together? And he says, You have taken my gods, which I made, and the priest, and you go. And what more do I have? And what is this you say to me? What is this to you? And the sons of Dan say to him, Do not let your voice be heard with us, lest men bitter in soul fall on you, and you have gathered your life and the life of your household. And the sons of Dan go on their way, and Micah sees that they are stronger than he, and turns and goes back to his house. And they have taken that which Micah had made, and the priest whom he had, and come in against Laish, a people quiet and confident, and strike them by the mouth of the sword, and have burned the city with fire. And there is no deliverer, for it is far off from Sidon, and they have no word with any man. And it is in the valley which is by Beth-rehob. And they build the city and dwell in it, and call the name of the city Dan, by the name of their father Dan, who was born to Israel. And yet Laish is the name of the city at the first. And the sons of Dan raise up the carved image for themselves. And Jonathan, son of Gershom, son of Manasseh, he and his sons have been priests for the tribe of the Danite, until the day of the expulsion of the people of the land. And they appoint for themselves the carved image of Micah, which he had made, all the days of the house of God, being in Shiloh.